All this mumbo jumbo number stuff ain't for me. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Gullible Arbot will never own a Mercedes with the Arbonne pyramid scheme. What? Hey, this is Lance McGowan with Essential Oils Me, and I'm going to cover a comment that I received on one of my videos to provide the other side and try to provide a reasonable response to comments when I, get them. And so here we go. We're going to cover what they said, and I'm just going to respond along the way. They left the comment of Arbonne is a pyramid selling cult scam. That is a lot of words combined into one. Anyways, you will never own a Mercedes. I'm not a big fan of using superlatives like never or always, but they clearly did. You will have a lease for 3 years that is in your name that you are responsible for paying. You will never be NVP. N as in Nancy, VP. There aren't enough people in the world for you to scam. Only 18 people in the UK are at the top earning position, which is only 1/6 of the 1% of Arbonne Consultants. Nearly everyone earns less than minimum wage or mostly nothing. You can look this up if you don't believe it. Arbonne preys on the weak and gullible just like all MLMs. I'll see how close I can get to the camera now for emphasis. Do some research, they say, and get out while you can before you are brainwashed into another Arbot. So I've heard the phrase on the Reddit, anti-MLM Reddit threads like Hunbot or Huns. I guess it's because people copy and paste scripts or they sound like a robot and they, doing none of that. But they actually do, I guess, stuff that resembles a robot. Some people call me a robot in the past because I'm too scripted. I don't know. Whatever. Haters. They just give feedback, and feedback is just information from another person's perspective. So, boom, there we go. Let's not be defensive. Let's just take it in, learn from it, improve. There we go. This person then says, here is some information I looked up to help you not get scammed. Alright, so here's the information. They said 99.7% of Arbonne Consultants are losing money. The average annual commission for regional vice presidents, which is what that RVP standing for, or I don't know if they meant to say RVP earlier, they said MVP, I don't know. Anyways, RVPs is only $23,951, that's less than $500 a week. 88% of Arbonne Consultants earned absolutely nothing in 2017. According to Arbonne Independent Consultants Summary Table, 62% of Arbonne Consultants averaged less than $1,000 in commission in 2017. That's before we consider those people had to purchase products to earn that commission. It's quite possible that most Arbonne Consultants lost money in 2017, and then they gave and then that was it. That was their comments. Again, the link for this original video will be in the description below, so you can check that out. And I've done an anti-MLM mistakes video before. You can just type in anti-MLM Lance McGowan in YouTube search and you'll find it. But basically a summary of that video, just so you have it, and a response to what they said. And so, oftentimes, or we'll just say almost every single time, is the anti-MLM person, especially when it comes to the context of like distributors making or losing money, is they look at the outcome instead of the reasons why something happens, and specifically the root cause of why that happens. And there are patterns. You can make some generalizations, but then there are also some case-by-case basis type of stuff that needs to be done. And when I start saying that, they just start to go, just like, whatever, nobody make money, everybody lose money, just like, time out. From what I've learned, researched, and studied myself, to touch, just barely touch on that root cause of why the numbers look the way they do, is because success in a network marketing company, well, first of all, it shouldn't just be financial. You should look at your health, your relationships as well, but they're just focused on the money side, so that's kind of the first, blinders type of, I would say, mistake that's being made. Let's just focus on the money, because they're just like, well, if I'm going to do it myself, I don't want to lose money myself, but it's just like, well, there's other aspects of life that are also important. Health, quality of life, your depth of relationships. Anyways, we ain't going into that. But the 5 main things, you got to look at your skills, your goals, your effort, the quantity and quality of your network, as well as your lead generation system or strategy. So those 5 things are absolutely critical for a network marketing company to be successful. And what somebody should do, instead of like looking at the outcome and then just being like, see, I told you it's a bad deal with the scam pyramid scheme with that accent right there. Instead of doing all that, you should be like, well, how do I rate in those 5 things that Lance mentioned, and how do most other people rate in those 5 things? And let's kind of give it like, give it a score, like some type of like scorecard based on that. Like, well, I don't know a ton of people, and like what's a good average number of people to know, or what's a good number, what's the average number of people that need to be talked to before you get a certain amount of customers on average. Like there's some more research involved, and these 5 things I mentioned could certainly be fleshed out, and you can find highs and lows and averages and best practices, mistakes to avoid in each category, and then just be like, all right, well, where am I at? And then be like, okay, well, that can kind of determine how well I would do, or that explains why others haven't done as well. And another main point I'll make before I close is that it seems like they, the anti-MLMers don't factor in like, well, if Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk had that same mindset of like, well, since most businesses fail after 5 years, then I'm not going to start Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, or Facebook, because it's just, I'm just not going to do it. It's just too many people lose money. And it's just like, well, if they had that same mindset, then we wouldn't have those, addictive / important things in our life, depending on who you are. And I mean, this is an Apple phone right here. Anyways, so the point I'm trying to make is, yeah, I mean, it's all about your mindset. It's about looking at the bigger picture and trying to be objective and looking at not just, oh my goodness, MLMs are bad, but it's just like, well, what about, corporations and franchises and mom and pop shops, and, what are the pros and cons of each category? How can I be more objective? Look at things bigger picture, look at root cause, why things happen. And really start to I guess it's more of like a cost-benefit analysis, and I get it, not everyone's analytical, they just may be more feelings-based, like it feels good or it feels bad, so I ain't gonna do it, Lance. I call intuition. I'm intuitive, okay? All this mumbo-jumbo number stuff ain't from me. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, you go do that. Okay, I mean, feelings are great for like birthday parties and anniversaries and roller coasters and, celebrations, but I mean, when it comes to, business decisions or, your health, then you need to look at the numbers, you need to look at the facts and make sure, you're looking at complete and accurate facts that are interpreted properly so an accurate conclusion can be had. Whew, alright, I'm going to leave it at that. That was a lot that was said. Anyways, that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button if you did, share this video with somebody that would benefit from it, and most importantly, check out the links in the description below so you can continue to get your learn on, and I will see you in the next video.